Good morning everybody, welcome to Carnation Crafts TV. I'm Laura, we've got Bunny next door. I hope you've all had a lovely weekend. We are very excited today because this is the first show of our brand new USB, A Christmas Promise. Now the price on this is $29.99. It's on a show price for you, which is going to go up Wednesday. Yeah, we think it's Wednesday. We'll double check, but we're pretty sure it is on Wednesday. This will go back up to full price. So it's on a very good show price for you. It is item number 250917. And you've got that QR code there you can scan on the bottom. Now, obviously, A Christmas Promise kind of gives it away that this is our brand new Christmas USB. I think this is going to be so popular. I know so many people make so much more crafts at Christmas time. Now the lovely thing about having all these images on the USB is obviously you can resize these, so these could be used for gifts at Christmas time. You could be putting these on so many, you've got so much more options with this, having it on a USB than having it just in die form. So I'll run through some of the samples so you can see what the design team have been up to, and then we will go through the board so you can see exactly what comes on this USB. But look at these. So Anna has made this one here. Look at that, so pretty, building up that scene. Look at the little dog. He's pinching the little letter. So cute. Now you have got card shapes on here as well that are exclusive. So you do have on here, you've got 19 SVG designs. You have also got 126 backing papers on here as well, plus your 3 bonus card shapes, which is one of these. So you can see this lovely snowflake design with that lovely scene there. Look at that in the background, so pretty. And then look at this one. So Jackie made this one here. I love that. I think that's really cute. I don't know, I know it's just a bow, but there's something cute about it. It just looks really cute. And then I've got another one here by Jackie. Look at that. So by welding, so again, something that's unique to having them on a USB form, you can weld the shapes together. So by welding those together to actually make the card base and then adding those snowflakes in. So this could be, you could be cutting that out in vellum, it could be home decor, you could be making decorations with these. So you've got so much more options with this. I've got one here by Wendy. Look at this one. Look at that. So you can see they're building up that wreath. Now that, you could be doing that on an item of home decor, couldn't you? And you could be decorating it yourself like that. There's so much on here that you are going to absolutely love, including the square, the DL and the circle here that you can see. So these, you can see you've got your sentiments. I adored these when these came out. First thing I said, these were perfect for me, because a sentiment is always the last thing that I think about putting on a card, unless somebody's asked me to make something like you know, an 18th birthday or like an anniversary. The sentiment is the last thing, but the sentiment look is built into the frame, so you don't have to worry. The sentiment is already there at the start before you even start going in and decorating your cards. So you've got so much on here. And then look at this one. That image has got so much dimension to it. It's such a lovely image. Now those frames as well that I showed you, the lovely thing with them, look at this for resizing. How pretty is that? Jackie made this one. Look at that. And resizing this now so you can make them bigger. You could make some real home decor items with this. And then I've got another one here that Jackie's made. Again, resizing. Look at that. That is such a lovely card shape there that you've got. Again, resizing these to make them bigger. So you do have the options with these when you are sizing them up. I've got one there by Tracy. Look at that, using the 3D bauble there, which is on the USB. So if you missed that, or you want to get that, because again, with that one, you can now make those baubles in so many different sizes as well. So you can make them bigger or smaller. I got one there by Sarah. How pretty. Oh, so there you go. So the one I was just saying, Jackie has done exactly that look from that other card. So, and you could do this foliage, you get 3 different colorways of this as well. So you could do this exact same thing 3 different times, because you've got 3 different colorways in this. I could just imagine like having 3 of them, like, you know, attached to each other. Yeah, hanging off your door or something. And again, you could make that any size that you want it to be. Look at this. I can't open it. Look at that. Now these originally are quite small. Look at that. That is so, so cute. And the lovely thing about having the USB is obviously you can have the machine cut all these out, and then you can be sticking this card together while the machine is cutting out another lot for you. So if you do make and sell, it does save you time, because you can just have these. Oh, I've got one with tiny lights on. Hang on. Who did this one? Anna did this. Look. Oh, it's a lantern. How pretty is that? But then that one to that one, exactly the same file. So you've got the lantern there in the background look, made for the card base, but just goes to show, so Jackie made this one, how you can resize them and how they can take a completely different look as well. I think you could use these lanterns for like like a camping card or something like that, like that type of, or like somebody that likes to go walking, and I don't know, it's just got that kind of vibe with it as well. And then I gotta show this one. Look at that. Who did that one? Sarah did that one. And then I'll show, I have got others here, but I'll show one more before we go, because otherwise I'm going to be study free. Because look at this. Tracy did this. Look at that. That is so cute. And I think that those robins were my favourite when they came out. So to be able to make them like that, how cute is that? And you could go in now and you could add things on to him as well. So you could like put glitter in his hat, or you could go in and put I can't remember what it's called. There's like this white paste, and you can put it on, and then when you heat it with a heat gun, it like blows up to look like foam. So you could put that on the bottom to make it look like snow. You could put little accents where the light's hitting his hat and his eyes. You could just go in and add so much detail to them. It just looks so, so cute. Right, let's go over to the boards so you can see exactly what is coming on each one of these. Right, let me just move that over there. Right, so we'll start off with Sealed with a Lick. So look how cute this is. You've got your little snowman, look, writing his letters, and then you've got the little dog, look, helping to lick the envelopes. You've got the decoupage there for his hat as well, but they're just so, so cute. And again, you could blow this up now, so that could be your complete card. You could easily just make a card with that and pop a sentiment on the bottom, and your card could be done. So if you do batch making, or you do fairs, or anything like that, these are going to be so, so useful for you. Right, then we go on to the Seasonal Extravaganza card shape. Now there's lots of different ways you can use this. So one of the cards I showed you just now is just using this frame to make the card base on its own. The idea with this is, we should have just grabbed one of the other samples, shouldn't we, from the dies, just to show how it went. So this pops up, but we'll get one for the next show in case you missed it, but you can go back and have a look. But this part will fold up, so this gives you your stepper, and then on the inside you are going to build your tree. So what you're going to end up with is, let's get this bit first. So this bit gives you your tree. So you're going to pop that in the center. This goes onto there. So you can see they've got little cuts there. So they fit into each other to make the stand. And this stands up. And then you have got your trees. So you've got all of your foliage then that will fit on. So you see it's almost like a little key shape. It's got a circle. So they will go into this bit, and then these have got little notches on, and they will just sit in there. And this has been designed so that you can pop them on and just turn it so that the gaps don't meet, and then it will fold flat. But when we did this as a die, a lot of the design team glued it together, made it look like a 3D tree. You can make them look like 3D ornaments. But in this one, you're going to get the green foliage. You're going to get that with, look, can you see how it looks like it's got little fairy lights in there? Really detailed. You're also going to get the white, and you get the gold as well. So you get that in the 4 different colorways. And then obviously with carnation, that's not all. You also get in then with the stand all of your decorative elements. So these could be the ribbons going around the tree. These could be the cables that you could have the lights on. You've got your baubles and your bows there, and you've got the star and the angel to go on the top. And you also get that in 3 different colorways as well. So you've got different colorways there. So I think you've got a colorway there depending on any type of theme or colorway that you decorate. So these are perfect for gift giving as well. They look absolutely incredible. Then we go on to the seasonal sentiment in the circle. So the lovely thing with these is that the sentiment is actually built in to each layer. So like we showed you, you can enlarge these if you want to. So if you want to make them bigger, obviously if you're using your scan and cut, you've got a 12 by 12 mat. So you could make this into a 12 by 12 circle. So scrapbooking, home decor, even your memory books, you can mix these up. And then you can mat a different colour cardstock underneath. So you can see this one's been cut out in that burgundy colour, and then you've got the gold mat underneath. So you can mix and match the colours like that, or you can have them as apertures as well, or frames to use. So you get in on the USB, you get the circle. You're also going to get the DL. So you can see exactly the same format, but you do have the different sentiments. You've got joy and light in this one, and then you're also going to get the square as well. So you've got deck the halls here, lovely ones. These as well I think would make great little coasters. You could make little coasters. You could put, oh, do you know what I've just thought you could do? Yeah, you could use this one as a coaster, put a picture behind it, and then just go over the top with resin so it goes hard, and then you've got like a picture coaster. Or you could make them into picture frames, or you could go over it with resin, put another one on the back, and then put some ribbon in it, and you've made your own Christmas decorations. Yeah, it could be a little Christmas keepsake decoration. Right, then we're going to go on to, oh, actually, before I do that, you also got, the next thing on the list is the tag card, which is this. So it's going to give you the card shape to make your own tags. Now you can add obviously like a gift card or something in there if you want to. So you've got that little area there, but it does give you that lovely shaped card. So that's one of your bonus card shapes. And the other one, if I just go in order, is that lovely snowflake design. So you can see there how you've got that coming off the side, which just looks so pretty. Then you've got topped with a bow. So these I think are so incredibly useful, not just for Christmas either. You could use these all year round, and you can also cut into them as well. So if you just want like a smaller bow, or if you want that type of bow, don't be afraid to snip into them. But you've also got these as well, which look perfect on top of presents. So you could add these on top of some of the presents that we have as well. Then you've got the winter collar card shape. Now this is such a lovely design card. I'm going to flip it so you can see what this looks like. So you can see a really, really big shape card straight away. Obviously you can enlarge it, you could make this smaller if you want to. There's so many different ways you can use this. So the side panels of these, they've got score lines down there. So you can bring these forward and then it's going to open up like that. Or you could have these just going back a little bit, so it stands up like that. You can just use that center part and have this as a card. And you've got, you can cut in the inside of these as well. So you do have the files for all of these. So you can add that in to give you a little aperture window. So you can see how detailed that is. It's mistletoe that is, isn't it? But for me, I think you could get away with that for other things, especially in different, like if you did it in white, it kind of just looks like that one. It doesn't scream Christmas to me. I think if you put some different elements on there, I think you could get away with different ones. But you do also get the artwork for the bell and for the mistletoe as well, so you can add those in. But again, such a lovely design to have that on the USB. Then we have the 3D baubles. Now this is such a lovely one. Now you can see you have different sizes in here and you've got different patterns. So you've got the larger one, you've got the medium one and the smaller one. Now these are so easy to put together. This part, you glue these onto there. So you have one coming off each panel and then you literally just pull them up to the top and thread this through the hole in the top, and that's it. They come together that easy. You do have artwork for these as well. You've got, I think, is it 3 for each one? I think it's more. I don't know if there's 6. I remember there's quite a lot. Have a look. But there's quite a few different designs that you get, because you do get these in different colorways to obviously match your theme that you decorate with. So you do get a lot of different choice with that one. Now this is composed for Christmas. So like the wreath that I just showed you, all of the foliage that you've just seen on the card samples has come from here. Now you get these stunning flourishes because you've got all the berries, you've got the pine cones, and they build up so lovely. You've got a corner piece, you've got more of like a central piece, and then you've got this one which is curved. Between those three you can fit these absolutely anywhere, but you do have the decoupage as well, but equally use that as well to change the shapes of these, add more in, add them on top. Completely your choice. Now again, you also get this, you get that in kind of like your traditional color. Then you've got more of, I'd say this is like a bit frosted with like a lighter red in there and a bit more goldy. And then you've got the white, which I absolutely love. It is so incredibly detailed. They are absolutely stunning, so usable as well, because you can use these with absolutely every and any Christmas collection that you have will work with these, and especially with them in the 3 different colorways as well. Then you've got from the workshop. So remember that really cute card I showed you with the reindeer and the sleigh with all the gifts in? This is where that's come from. So you can see here how you could change these. Equally, you could make this train really nice and big and add the presents in the back of the train. There's so much you can do with these. The fact that you can resize them, obviously like these gifts, you could use these with any of the collections, mix and match these in. They look absolutely amazing. Then you have in its element, so you've got a lovely reindeer look, and you've got that grass as well. So that really helps us to ground him and bring that scene together. Then you've got in their element, look at them. So remember that card I showed you with That is where he has come from. Look how amazing. Now equally you could do exactly the same with him as well. They look absolutely amazing. They are so cute. The artwork on them, they just look so pretty. So a lovely one to add into your cards or make the complete card with that one. Then we've got lighting the season. So you've got that lovely lantern. I showed you a couple of cards with this. Yeah, Bunny's just said it's a nice classic Christmas. It is like classic Christmas image, isn't it? As soon as you've seen it, you can see the detail on these as well in the artwork. Really, really usable, really lovely one to use. Then we have off to church. So you can see you've got your lovely church scene. I love the artwork on the silhouettes of the people, because you can see, look, the light just shining on them as if they're like walking into the church and the light is just hitting them coming out. Really, really lovely image. Again, you could resize this. You have the mat for it, so you could make the mat 6 by 6. This could be your complete card and add your elements in. So again, really usable one to use. Then we have oh, hang on, before we go on to that one, we also have the oval frame card, which is this. So if I just open that up so you can see, so it gives you that lovely, and again, the pattern on here, I think you could get away with using that all year round. You've got that lovely aperture there as well, so you've got such a lovely card base straight away before you even bring any of the artwork in. And then you've got On His Way. Now he is just amazing. Look at the depth that you have in that image. You've got the moon and the clouds there, which again, so usable. You could be using these for Halloween cards. So many ways you can use them. Any scenes that you have, these will fit perfectly in the background. But you've got him there. And then you've also got the Rolling Hills card shape, okay, which works perfectly with him. So the idea with this one is you're going to cut 2 of these out. These stick together to make your card base, and then these will go in the, can you see the slits that you've got there? These will fit in there to give you that scene, and then you have your elements then to build that scene up. So you can see there, look, you've got all of these. So this frame will fit around the outside, which equally I know a lot of the design team use that as a card base on its own as well, so you don't have to go in and add everything. But then you've got these to pop in. These, you can see, you can pop things behind the hills as well to really add dimension into them. But you've got all of your trees there, you've got your houses, the clouds, so you can just build up such a lovely scene with these. Really, really nice. So there's a lot that you are going to get on that USB. Right, let me move these samples out the way so I don't damage them. Right, so we've gone to the USB. Let's cut something out to start off with. So let me just grab the mat. Pop that there. Right, so I always tell you, you know, as soon as you get your USB home, first thing you're going to do is print off your contact sheet so you can see exactly what's on there. It makes life so much easier when you're trying to find what image you've cut out to the name of the file. You can just look on here, and I always say, you know, you're always going to keep these, put them in a file, put them in a Polly Pocket or something, and just keep them there. So because you'll always use these, it's just not a waste, you're always going to use them, okay? Then you do the fun bit then, go and have a look at all the artwork, because all of the artwork is on the USB, okay? So it's not like when you purchase a die from us and we tell you, you know, to add the artwork to your basket. The artwork is already on the USB for you. So you're going to go in there onto USB, decide what you want to print out. Now I've printed this out, ready to go. So we're going to do Composed for Christmas. Right, so I'm going to pop this on my mat, okay? It sounded like if you could hear that at home, it was not a dinosaur. It was Bunny ordering her breakfast. Right, so I'm going to stick that onto the mat. So we know now Compose for Christmas is what we want to cut out, okay? So we're going to go over to the USB, pop a USB in the corner there, and then you're going to go into Retrieve Data. Right, no, there. Right, and then you're going to click on your USB. And then when you go into the USB, you've got your Cricut files, your papers, and your SVGs. Now, Cricut machines read the USBs a little bit differently, so you do have a separate one there for Cricut users. So if you are a Cricut user, you can absolutely still use the USB. Then you've got your papers, so don't forget you have got, how many did I say was, Bunny? Can you remember? Oh, I did say it, but I can't. I got a memory of a fish. 126. You were right, Bunny. Check you out. I'm sorry I doubted you. 126 background papers. So that's where you're going to print them off, and then we're using the scan and cut. So we're going to go into SVGs and vignettes. Now that's where you'll go to print everything off. All your artwork and everything will be on there. So we want Composed for Christmas. So we're just going to scroll down. Have I passed it? There. They are, yeah. So when you go in there, they are in alphabetical order. Now you'll see when you click on them, can you see you've got one detail cut, one speed cut. So for every file, you will get a detail cut and a speed cut. So the detail cut, if I zoom in, zoom in twice, will give you, can you see that? So it gives you all of those tiny detail cut lines in the design, exactly how it would if you were die cutting. In the speed cut, it gives you more of an outline look. So it's still going to cut out everything that needs cutting out. It's just not going to add in any of those detail lines. So for me, it depends what it is that you're doing, you know, which way you want to cut out. But you'll get them for both. So you do have the option. I am going to find... yes, so that is the one that I need. So once you've clicked on the file that you want, you're going to press OK, and you're going to load that onto your mat. Now once this is loaded onto the mat, obviously we need to make this match up with the paper on the mat as well. So you're going to go into Edit, you're going to select everything that's on the mat, so you can see everything's got that red rectangle around it now. And then you're going to go back into Edit and group it so it's one item. So now I can move this and everything moves together, so I can line that up, okay? So now I'm going to add in my mat. And then when that goes in, you're going to press OK, and then we're going to scan. So we're going to scan this mat now, because obviously we need to match this up. So exactly how you would when you're die cutting. You know, you match up your die to the image. We need to now match up that file to the artwork. So this is going to scan in for us now. So then the image will pop up like that. And then all you're going to do is go back into Edit, and you're going to zoom in twice, okay? So we're going to zoom in to 400. And this corner that you have on the artwork, you can see you're missing the same corner on the file. All you're going to do is just line them up. So kind of get it roughly where it needs to go, and then you can use your arrows to just knock that in. I can't even see if it's in place or not. There. Right, so that's lined up. So you don't need to go in and look at everything, it's just that top corner bit. And then the only thing I do once I've done that is I ungroup everything, and this outside rectangle I'll just delete. only because it just saves the longevity of my blade. If you do cut it, if you don't ungroup it and you just press cut, the only thing that means is this black line on your piece of artwork that we've just cut out, printed out, it'll cut that black line. So this black line here, it'll just cut that out. So it doesn't make any difference. I've purely just got into the habit of doing it just to save my blade. Or well, not save it, just try and make it last as long as possible. So that, we'll cut that out now. So the lovely thing with this, especially if you make and sell, you can be putting your card together now. You could be cutting out your mats and layers while this is cutting this out for you. Or you could be printing out, you know, whatever it is that you want off the USB. And then you could just get the machine to cut everything out while you're watching a film. You know, it kind of gives you back a bit more time when you're doing this. And especially when you do it with the speed cut. Hang on, have I got another one? Because when you do the speed cut, because you're not doing the detail cut, it tends to, not every time, okay, so I'm not saying every single time, but it does tend to give you more artwork on each sheet than one. So like if I, like this one, so you do get more. They'll try and add in as much as they can on to one sheet. So you've got two different ones on there. So they will try and add in, whereas the detail cut tends to only have one. So you do get more. So if you do the speed cut, you know, if you are batch making, you can quite easily just get the machine to get cutting for you while you get your mats and layers, you get your card ready, and it doesn't take much time at all. The time that'll come up on the machine is like a worst case scenario time. So what normally happens is when you load it in, it gives you the time of if it has to cut it out twice. Because if you've put in a thicker cardstock and it needs to go around twice to make sure it's cut out. But it does cut out really quickly. So it does give you that bit of time. And the other thing which got me into using USBs was the amount that you get on a USB. You know, when you look at the value for money compared to if you bought all these individually as dies. But not only that, the only thing you've got to store is a little USB. You haven't got to store a load of different dies. You've just got to store that one little USB. So now if I pull this off, ta-da! So we've got all of these tubes now. And if I pull these up, you can see, like, look how fine they've cut. They look amazing. And I always think as well, especially for me, do you know, if I'm using something that's got foliage in or anything like this, that's what I'll use the most. So if I can cut a load of different ones out like this in one go, because I know that those are the things that I'm going to have to keep cutting out, because them are the things that I'm going to use the most. You know, even like the pine cones, look at them. And then you've got, obviously you've got more of them, but then you've also got these decoupage pieces as well. And you've got these, I was calling these like feathers when but Bunny's saying, no, they're not, they're sprigs. So, oh, she's saying they're little leaves now off the berries. They just look so realistic, don't they? Really, really good. So you can now have all of those ready to go. And the lovely thing as well, like I said, with the speed cut, because it does give you, it does tend to give you more than just one. So if you are like batch making and stuff, you know, you will have like a little batch. Hang on, where's mine? So obviously I've been prepping these. So this now is my little bag, look. So obviously I've cut things out ready to demo, And these are my like leftover bits. Don't like, because I've had a couple on each sheet, and then these are like the bits then that I just haven't used yet. So, you know, you could have a little bag like that, or get a little box, and you'll have all these then ready to go. So it does help in that way. But we've cut them out, so shall we pop them onto a card? So right, so for the base, I'm going to use the lantern, okay? Let me just move these bits out the way. Right, so what I've done, so I want to use the lantern as a base. So what I've done is I've cut it out in white, and I've cut it out obviously with the artwork, and I'm going to pop them on there just to reinforce it. So let's stick this one on to there. Everything I am using as well is printed onto our Pro Print paper, and I am using the 220 GSM because obviously when you're using the scan and cut, or when you're cutting out with the USB, they are single-sided. So I do find the 220 GSM works better for me. I know some people prefer to use the 170, so you know, obviously whatever works for you, stick with it, but for me I use the 220 for mine. Okay, so I've got that, and then I'm going to do the exact same thing with another one. And then this one I'm going to stick, so you've got the little flame look. So before I glue this on top, I'm just going to glue that there, and then we can glue this on top of that then. Oh, Karen Richardson's message and saying good morning. Morning, Karen. Oh, Caroline's messaged in as well, saying she can't wait for her order. Well done, Caroline. Oh, Tracy's messaged as well, saying good morning, Lauren Bunny, and she loves doing the samples for this USB. Well, thank you, Tracy, because we really enjoy looking at them. Suzanne has messaged in. Suzanne, you must be exhausted, saying good morning. So morning, Suzanne, and saying that she got up at 4:30 this morning to order the USB because she didn't want to miss out. Wow, that's dedication to. Well, I'm just glad that you got up and you haven't missed out, because can you imagine, there's nothing worse if you got up early for something and then you did miss out. Yeah, well done. Right, now I've got, so this bit is again from the Compose for Christmas, so you do get 3 different elements in there, and this is that kind of one that I said was almost like a center one. So I've glued that, so it's almost on the back before I'm going to glue them together. So that's just going to sit kind of like that. Okay, so I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue on the top of here. Oh, and Bunny's just told me we are almost at 20% of the stock of this is now gone. Oh, 25%. Oh, I think that Christmas though is always the most popular collections. I don't know why. I don't know if it might just be, let me know if it's just me or not, but I find I do more crafting at Christmas time than any other time. Any other time of year, Christmas is always the most. And I feel like it's the time that you make the most cards though, because like throughout the year, you know, you might have like, say, like for me and my family, July is the busiest for like birthdays and stuff. But like Christmas, obviously you've got so many people that you give cards to. So there's like just so much more to do. And obviously you cannot, you know, you have to give everybody a handmade card. if they know that you make cards, you have to give them a handmade card. Right, so we've got our card base. So that's going to go there like that. And then I've got another element. So this is that corner element from the Compose for Christmas. And I'm just going to give this a little bit of shape. And then I'm going to go in with my Pinflair. And we're going to add that on there like that. So that's just going to kind of bring those together. And then you do have those decoupage pieces as well to go on top. So I'm going to add a little bit of these in. And then we're going to add in those pieces that we've just cut out. So let's add these in. So that's going to go on there. And then I'm going to grab, so these berries that we just cut out, let's add these in. Oh, we've had a message off Wendy as well saying good morning to me and Bunny. Morning, Wendy. And she says that she ordered hers this morning as well and she can't wait to get her hands on it. Well, I hope you have fun when it arrives. But this for me now is kind of one of the benefits of having the USB. You can be composing your card and just playing around with the composition and thinking, oh, shall I add this in? Shall I do that? But while you were doing this, the machine can be cutting out your next project for you, or it could be cutting out the 3D bauble because then you're going to make the 3D bauble next. So it just makes life easier for me. I think it kind of, you know, you can just play around with it a bit more. So, and obviously the fact that you can go in and resize the images as well. So you're always going to have an image that is going to work for wherever you want it to go, because you can resize it to fit anywhere. So if you've got an image and you think, oh, I love this, like the robins, you know, you might absolutely love them and think, do you know what, my friend absolutely loves robins. I'd love to make her a card for Christmas with these. You know, you can absolutely do that now because you can just make them bigger. And then I'm going to bring in Topped with a Bow, I think it's called. Yes, it is. Topped with a Bow. So I've got it in that lovely gold colour, and I'm just going to give it a bit of shape like that so that comes out a bit. And I'm going to pop this right on top of there like that. So, and again, you do get the bow. I think the bow's in 3 different colourways. And then I've got, so I've just used one of, where's my scissors? There. One of my dies. This, oh, I can't. Do you remember the back to wear we did not long ago, Bunny, the Christmas one, and it had like the polar bear. Well, the sentiment I'm using is from there. So I've just got Merry Christmas. So I'm just going to pop some glue on there. This is just going to sit on there like that, and I've done this in gold just so this matches in with the rest of the card. And then I'm going to pop this in there. So that, actually I'm going to turn that. That's going to go there, and then I'm going to put that there like that. Yeah. And then you could even go in, actually let's do it, let's add some of these pine cones because we've cut them out. Let's use them, add that on there. But look how much you can build these up. You can add so much into them. And obviously you can just, if you love this, you can just get the machine out to be cutting all these out again for you while you get your next card ready to go. So you can just have so much fun playing around with these. Now if I lift this up, doesn't it look so, that to me is like a traditional, like a proper Christmas card, like a real traditional Christmas card. And the lovely thing now is the Compose for Christmas that I've used. So if you like that card now, obviously you can go in and do the exact same thing again, but you could do it in the traditional colour. So you could make that exact again, but do it in that one, or then Gifted Christmas, so that's where that is from. And then you've got the gold and that, like that purpley colour as well. So you could make that exact same card in 3 different colourways, because you've got the 3 different colourways for the Compose for Christmas. You've also got the 3 different colourways from the bow as well, so that will match in, and the gold will work with the 3 of them. So if you do craft fairs or anything like that at Christmas time, that is going to be perfect, because you could just batch make the 3 of these, and the 3 of them will look completely different just purely because of that, the different colorways in the foliage. But they look how much that stands out. That really is like an eye-catching card, isn't it, that you could use. So you can see there. Right, I'm going to just pop this there. No, I'm not, because I'll knock it over. Yeah, I always run out of room, Bunny, don't I? Right, let me grab the board so we can go through these quickly so you can remember what's on. Oh, the USB is so much. Right, so let's start with Sealed with a Lick. Look at how adorable the snowman and that dog is. So cute. So you've got like the snowman there right in the letters, but you've got the dog there, look, helping him out, licking the envelopes. So cute. And again, this could be your card base. You could make this a complete 6x6 card if you wanted to. Then you've got the Seasonal Extravaganza card shape. Now, one of the samples I showed you did just use that frame. I'm just going to grab the box, Bunny, so I can show some bits. This one. So this is actually that frame made into the card base itself. So you could use it like that to make a card base, and you have that lovely detailed frame. You can see all of that detail in there. But then you've also got these. So this gives you like the stepper card. So you can see you've got your fold lines there that will give you the stepper. These bits stick on there, so this will fold up. And then inside, you're going to make the most amazing tree. So you've got your stand. So you've got your base. These two slit fit in together to give you your base. This is the center of your tree. Now you can see, look, you've got little notches. That is where all the foliage goes. So you've got, let's move, like a little key system. So these will go onto the tree, and then as soon as you get to the notch that you want it to stay on, just turn it. So this is obviously facing the other way, and that is going to stay there. You don't need to glue them, and the idea is if you do that without gluing them, they will fold flat. So you've got all of the baubles to go on there as well in different colorways. So you've got different colorways for that, and then you've also got 4 different colorways for the foliage. So you've got like your traditional green, you've got the same with the fairy light design on there, then you've got your frosted and your golden as well. So you've got 4 different colorways there to make your tree. Then you have the seasonal sentiment in circle. So you've got your sentiments, look, that are built into the mat, and then you can put your different colorways behind them then. So you can build these up. I think they would look amazing as like coasters. You could use these as little photo frames, have them hanging as home decor. Obviously, having these now on the USB, you can resize these. So these could be 12 by 12, they could be 8 by 8. You can resize these and make them a lot bigger. You've got you've got the circle, you've got the DL, which is joy and light, and you also have the square, which is deck the halls. Then you have the gift tag, which is over here. So then you also have the card shape. So these bonus card shapes have not been dies and will not be dies. So this is the gift tag shape, and you've also got like a little section there that you can add. You could add a gift card, or but I say gift tag. I think of the last like 2 or 3 times I've bought it like a gift card. Yeah, they didn't even give me a card. It was just a code on a receipt. So it's just like, oh, great. So, you know, even like, I know, but like at least you can make it special, couldn't you? And you can put it in there and make it look a little bit better than just giving somebody a receipt. Then you've got topped with a bow. So this is the one that I just used. And you can see how I just snipped the like tails away. You could equally snip those bits away. And then you've got the smaller bows as well that you can add into the presents, add them onto bags. They would look amazing. Then you've got the winter collar card shape. This is just absolutely amazing. Look how detailed this is. Such a lovely card. Really, really big size as well as it comes. Equally, you can change the size of this. You could use just the center panels. You could have these coming in so it opens out. You could have these just going back so it stands up. And then you've also got the artwork for the bell and the mistletoe to add into there. Then you've got the 3D baubles. There's a lot of different colorways that you get with this. You've got the large one, you've got the medium and the small. These are what go in the center. So the idea with these is you stick these onto each side, pull this up, and then you just feed it through the hole. And these just slot it, they just hold each other. So really, really simple to build. Then we have the Compose for Christmas. So this is the one that we just used. So you can see these are this is the colorway that we just used. But you do get the 3 different layouts with these. You've got, I call it like the center one, the bigger one. You've got the curved one and the corner one, plus you have all the decoupage. But you do get them in the 3 different colorways as well. So like that lantern card we just made, you know, this is the one that we use, but equally if you did it in that one and that one, they would look completely different, but it would still be the same file that you've used to make it. So great for fairs or batch making and selling. Then you've got from the workshop, so you've got your lovely presents in here, the train, your reindeer, really nice elements to add in to make your scenes. Then you have in its elements, you've got your lovely reindeer there, look, and you've got your grounding element there, which comes in so useful just to help ground the scene. Then you've got in their element, I absolutely adore these. I think they are so cute. Look at that. That's such a cheerful card, isn't it? It's so cute. Absolutely brilliant. And you can do that with the 2 of them. They are just absolutely lovely. I love them. The minute I see them, I think they're just so cute. Then we've got Lighting of the Season. So you can really have some fun with this. I think it is such a iconic Christmas image. It's something very easy to use. I'm just trying to see if I can grab. So obviously it was the one that we used just now, but you can see, look, resize it equally. This one, who did this? Tracy has used the lantern and the same Composed for Christmas elements that I did, but they look completely different, don't they? Just compared to the card that I made, how different they look. So there's so many different ways that you can build these up and just have fun and play around with these, resizing them as well. Then you've got Off to Church. Again, such a beautiful image. I love the silhouette with the lighting on them. They just look really, really lovely. Then you've got On His Way. Look how much shape, look how much dimension you've got in that image. The moon, you've got the clouds. I mean, it just screams Christmas to you, doesn't it? Then you've got your oval frame card, which is this one. So you can see there how that comes together. You've got your lovely oval with that lovely frame. But if you look at that pattern, to me, that's an all year round. It's like a really nice swirl pattern, so definitely be able to use that all year round. And then you've got your Rolling Hills card shape. So these will fit into here. So they kind of hang down. You're going to glue two of these onto each other like that to make your card. And then these will like hang through them in the middle to give you the ability to build up that scene. So you've got your hills that you can pop these behind. You've got your clouds there for the background as well. But you've also got all of the trees as well to really build into that scene. And this beautiful frame, so this bit just glues straight on top of there to seal that so it looks like one frame, and that will fit over there so you can see. But such a detailed one. And again, that frame, you can see that gold frame just looks like a really ornate frame. So again, something that you could use all year round for your card bases. Just gives you a really nice frame card. That has flown by. Yeah. Well, Bunny just said to you. Thanks, Bunny. Yeah, so that does bring us to the end of the show. Now, me and Bunny will be back at 12 to go through the USB in more detail for you. So hopefully you can go and grab a cup of tea and come back and meet me and Bunny at 12.